Honorable President of India, Shri Amitabh Kant, Secretary DIPP, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. I extend to you all a very warm welcome to Rashtrapati Bhavan for this interaction of leading Indian entrepreneurs, technologists and venture capitalists from Silicon Valley with the Honorable President of India. Today, India is at the cusp of initiating its own platform where the Indians spread all over the world can contribute directly to the growth and development of the country and the society. The presence of so many celebrated entrepreneurs in this historic hall is a clear pointer that the new ecosystem has the potential to unleash the creative energy that can make India the startup capital of the world. Startups are all about innovation, ambition, and rapid growth. President Mukherjee is passionate about reforms in the educational sector. He has put his faith in strengthening the links between science, technology, and innovation. As the visitor of over 114 institutions of higher learning in India, he has catalyzed the setting up of almost 100 innovation clubs, hubs, and incubators in educational institutions like central universities, IITs, NITs, and ICERs. He has assiduously worked towards bringing together innovators, entrepreneurs, and financiers. Tie-ups amongst the Indian institutions and eminent entrepreneurs like you can change the landscape of the Indian economic system and make India emerge as a powerhouse of technology and innovation in the world. The Indian entrepreneurs within India and outside India have innovated in the delivery of financial services, logistics, healthcare, transportation, training, skill development, and much more. We need all these in abundance, but more than that, we need startups in manufacturing sector to improve productivity and competitiveness. We need to work towards a seamless merging of old economy with a new one, where India has strength. Friends, India is a land of challenges. For every solution, we have a problem. The beginnings are laborious, slow, and sometimes tiresome. But like a flywheel, once we get going, there is no stopping us. Every challenge turns into an opportunity and achievement. Today, India is a hunting ground dense with opportunities. I invite you to join this hunt. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I once again welcome you to Rashtrapati Bhavan and look forward to an hour of fruitful interaction. May I now invite Mr. Amitabh Kant to present an overview of the Startup India.
Honorable President, I'm extremely honored to speak among such an august gathering of the brightest minds from the Silicon Valley ecosystem, the best startup ecosystem globally. Sir, historic changes are unfolding, unleashing a host of new opportunities to forge a 21st century nation. India will soon have the largest and the youngest workforce in the world. Employment generation is the topmost priority in developmental agenda. The aim of the government, sir, is to create entrepreneurship among Indian youth and turn youth from job seekers to job creators. Accelerating entrepreneurship, especially that based on innovation and design, is crucial for large-scale employment generation in India. The Indian startup ecosystem has taken off and come into its own, driven by factors such as availability of funding, consolidation activities, evolving technology, and a growing, vast domestic market. India currently has the third largest and the fastest growing startup ecosystem globally. Sir, the Silicon Valley startup ecosystem is rated the highest in terms of performance, funding, talent, and startup experience, and we look forward to deepening of ties and learning and gaining from this habitat of innovation and entrepreneurship. Sir, with more than 1 billion people with mobile phones, millions of smartphones and internet users, technology is playing an important role in the growth of the Indian startup ecosystem. Technology can enable us to lead in the digital century and find solutions for the country's social challenges. An example is the Jan Dhan Yojana, Aadhaar, and Mobile Jam Trinity, which is acting as a game-changing reform to make governance more efficient and effective and allowing transfer of benefits in a leakage-proof, well-targeted and cashless manner. Sir, your government has launched a number of major initiatives and initiated a slew of reforms to put the nation on the high-growth trajectory. Initiatives like Make in India, Digital India, Skill India, Smart Cities present huge opportunities for the Silicon investors to support India in its development and in turn benefit from the growth potential that the country offers. We see US as the strong supporter of Startup India and look forward to collaborating with the Silicon Valley startup ecosystem to encourage entrepreneurship among India's youth and facilitate startup across India. Sir, tomorrow we have the launch of the Startup India movement, and we are delighted to have our friends from Silicon Valley to join us on this occasion. Honorable President, your vision, your large canvas, your creative outlook, sir, has driven innovation and change in India. Your interaction today will be the catalyst for a new startup movement in India. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Amitabh. Now I request Mr. Venkatesh Shukla, President, TIE, for his remarks.
Your Excellency, it's a dream come true for an Indian to be sitting here with the President of India in this hallowed Rashtrapati Bhavan. We are all honored, sir. Sir, it's my honor to lead this delegation of exceptional high achievers. Even by the lofty standards of Silicon Valley, this group of people are exceptional. Indians have done extremely well in Silicon Valley. 5 of the biggest tech companies of the world have Indian CEOs. It's not just Microsoft and Google, it's also Adobe, it's SanDisk, and now NetApp. Practically every big company has at least one Indian in its top management rank. But it's in the startup space where Indians have made the most impact, sir. 50%, Indians are only 6% of Silicon Valley, but more than 50% of the companies funded in business-to-business space have an Indian co-founder. In fact, the joke in Silicon Valley is that unless you have an Indian in your founding team, you cannot get funded. Your Excellency, it will not be an exaggeration to say that only place outside of India where Indians are the dominant elites, it's Silicon Valley. And sir, it's a tribute not just to the capability of Indians there, is as much a tribute to the culture of meritocracy that prevails in Silicon Valley. For every Indian that left to go to US, perhaps it's the 10 equally capable people chose to stay behind. Sir, imagine the amount of wealth and jobs that could have been created here in India if the circumstances were similar to what exists in Silicon Valley. And talking of jobs in India, sir, I read an article in Economic and Political Weekly which said that from 2005 to 2012, Indian economy grew by an impressive 54%, but the job growth was only 3%. This is a massive disconnect between economic growth and job growth. It's in the job growth area that entrepreneurship is critical. We are thrilled that this government is the first government since independence that is focused on entrepreneurship as a critical